Hey guys, it's Frances, and our weekly collaboration theme was Paris in Spring, and Guyleen came up with this one. And here's a look at all the other ladies' manicures. And I just love doing these collaborations because it's so cool to see what everybody could come up with. Everybody's take is just a little bit different. Make sure that you go check all of theirs out, give them some love. They're wonderful, supportive ladies, and they're very talented to boot. So here's a look at what I came up with this week. And let me show you how I did it. I started off with Yellow Stopper as a peel-off base coat. And then I have one coat of this Wet n Wild French White Cream. And then I'm going to come over top of that with a fast dry top coat, and I'm going to let that dry completely. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to put on some liquid latex and let that dry. And then I'm going to come in with these three colors. I've got OPI, You're Such a Budapest. I've got Wild About Hue, which is a finger paints polish, and I've got my Sally Hansen, which is Mint Sorbet. And I'm coming in on a dampened cosmetic sponge, and I'm starting with that So You're Such a Budapest at the top, that Wild About Hue in the middle, and that Mint Sorbet at the bottom. And I'm going to do a good 2 coats of this as I get started so that I'm sure that that sponge is saturated. I want to get the most color that I can without having too much color at one time. And I think I come in and do, I think 2 or 3 passes on each nail with this. And I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to start by rolling over my nail because I don't want the colors to bleed too much together. So I usually start by rolling. This is my first pass on my thumb, and then I think I'm going to show you my second or third pass on my index finger. And on this last pass, I'll roll, and then if you notice, I'll dab, 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 and that kind of helps blend those colors together a little bit more. Now you can go as opaque as you want to go. I thought that this was where I wanted to be, so I'm coming in with my lint roller, and I am removing that liquid latex. And I can't remember whose channel I saw this on, but yes, it does remove the liquid latex a whole lot better. And then I want to do a coat of fast dry top coat on top, and this does 2 things. This helps prepare my nails for stamping, but it also helps blend those colors together a little bit more so that you have a nice fade in your gradient. And I'm going to come in with this Fran Mendez G Ejiubas plate, and it's got 2 sides. It's got individual images, and on the other side kind of a buffet. On this side I'm going to pull that really cute little Eiffel Tower image, and I'm going to come in with one of my small clear stampers. I'm scraping this 2 ways just to make sure. These plates are really deeply etched, so you want to make sure that you scrape well. And I'm going to come in on my ring finger with the Eiffel Tower, and it fit just right. And then I'm flipping the plate over, and I'm going to grab the word Paris to pop on my middle finger. And I really love how this black pops out over the gradient. But I'm going to come in with, this is my scraper, and I'm just pulling up whatever excess polish came up and that I didn't want on my nail. See, I love how this turned out over my gradient. And then I actually did my research for this one, and I googled images of Paris in spring, and they have lots of cherry blossoms. So I'm taking this Bundle Monster plate, and this is from their Secret Garden collection. I love that collection. I've used it a lot. And I'm going to use my big stamper, my big not Bundle Monster, Born Pretty stamper, and I'm going to pull it up. And I also ended up pulling up my scraper as well. And I'm just coming in with some regular Scotch tape, and I'm going to remove whatever excess polish that I don't want. Because what I'm going to do is reverse stamp with this. I'm going to fill it in, and then I'm going to pop all these babies across my other fingers. And that's why I use this bigger stamper. This is the first time I'm really using the bigger stamper, and if you look really carefully, I actually ended up getting some polish on my on the holder, and I'm really sad about that. But I'm coming in to color in with Wet n Wild Wild Shine in Lavender Cream and the much loved, much talked about Essie Fiji. And cherry blossoms, if you look at them, have that darker color in the middle, so I'm going to come in with that lavender cream, which I will argue is not lavender, but pink. And I will let that dry, and once that is dry, I will come in with Essie over top of it and fill in the rest of the image. So it'll give that look like a cherry blossom with the darker pink in the middle and the lighter pink on the outside. And I have sped this up a little bit and moved you, well, didn't speed it up really, but I've clipped parts out of it so you're not watching me color in forever. But I will put this aside and wait for it to dry completely. Just to dry. So if I touch the image and it's no longer showing my fingerprints, I know it's dry. I'm going to look and see, I took the head out of the holder, and I'm going to look and see where I want to put the images. And I pop that on my thumb. And I popped this on my index finger, and I kind of wanted to leave part of the top empty. And this took the rest of the image, except for that one little baby cherry blossom that went on my pinky, which I really loved how that looked there. And liquid latex, probably a bit overkill for this. It didn't really need it. But I'm coming in with some acetone and an orangewood stick, and I am just going to separate the stamping that's on the nail from what's around the nail that I don't want on the fingernail. And that way when I pull up the liquid latex, I'm not pulling up the image off my nail because it's really not adhered quite yet, at least not adhered well. So I'm going to separate whatever's left of that image, and it peeled off really easily, the image that is, the leftover part. And I'll just peel up this liquid latex, and that's what I'm left with. And then I have this Wet n Wild Wild Shine. It is a clear base, it's a clear coat with some holographic glitters in it, and I will have to look what the name is for you because I forgot. And I'm coming over top the image with this because I wanted that light, airy, ethereal kind of look for Paris in spring. And I really do love how this looked. I love the holographic on top of, that subtle holographic on top of the gradient. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me. Don't forget to check out the other ladies, and I will see you again next time. Thanks.